Well, into every life a little rain must fall. No, that's the right. Bring me sunshine, bring me joy. Yeah, okay. One of the features about a Monday in Azay-le-Ferron is the post brings you what is laughingly called le pub, publicity. And what I normally do with publicity is I normally put it straight in the rubbish bag. And as I was getting ready to do that, I just happened to read what this said. Bricomarché, yep, we'll know where that is. Samedi le 21 janvier, Saturday 21st of January, that's tomorrow. Now, you don't need to translate 10%. À partir de 50 euros sur tout le magasin. So, tomorrow, if I spend more than 50 euros in the Bricomarché, I'll get 10% off. Yeah, 50 euros is quite an easy amount to spend. For starters, tomorrow morning I'm picking up 2 stair noses. Well, they're €17 each. And the P project is going to require that I buy a few things. We'll talk about that when I get back from the shops tomorrow. But there we are, 10% off anything that you spend tomorrow in the Bricomarché. That'll be good, won't it? One of the things that I seem to be creating in this house is great big white walls with nothing on them. And so I sort of look for things that I can stick on the wall to break up the monotony of a white wall. And I came across this stuck away in a drawer, and I thought, yeah, I guess I really probably should stick that on the wall. And then I thought, when I'm dead and people come and fight over whatever's left of my life, you know, my train sets, which are worth pinching, by the way, they will look at my peculiar choices in furniture and they'll turn around and they'll see this stuck on a wall and they'll say, goodness gracious, this man's a hero. Without really knowing the story of what happened. And I thought, before I stick this on the wall, I would just very, very briefly tell the story. On the 31st of August 2015, it is suggested that a gentleman did something very ungentlemanly on a train. And he got off the train at Benfleet Railway Station. And various people in rather loud and shouty voices said things like, you cad, you rotter. Things like that. I'm sure you understand that isn't what they said. And the man claimed that they were misunderstanding what he was doing, and anyway, he went down the stairs with people going behind him shouting loudly. And I was there. Now, arguably I shouldn't have been there because, of course, the 31st of August 2015 was a public holiday. I should have been in my bed with my feet up, but no, I was there and I heard this commotion and I went out, and various people suggested to me that I needed to become involved. Incidentally, everyone else was standing there saying, you should get involved. Yeah, well, there we go. That, I guess, is human nature. And I got outside in time to see a youngish man throwing punches at an oldish man. And the youngish man desisted and went his way, and the oldish man walked towards the car park. Whereupon another youngish man attacked him. And, oh boy, yeah, did he? Ha! He did a very good job of attacking him. And at that point, the older man's wife turned up. And she said things like, "Stop that, you rotter." Things like, and the youngish man's girlfriend got herself involved and said to the older woman, "You can't speak to my boyfriend like that." I paraphrase. Anyway, the oldish woman then attacked the younger man's girlfriend. So the younger man stopped attacking the older man. He persuaded the older lady to leave his girlfriend alone, which unfortunately resulted in her breaking her ankle. Now, I actually saw all of this, and the way she broke her ankle was she stepped badly off the curb. And yeah. Anyway, the younger man resumed battering the older man, who kept falling over and kept getting up. Now, as chance, luck, call it what you will, had it, I knew the younger man, and I waited until he was tired out. You know, don't put yourself in harm's way. And once the younger man was completely tired out and unable to throw another punch, that was when I stepped between them. There's a good reason I've never had my nose broken. And I suggested to the older man that perhaps he would like to remain on the floor, and the younger man seemed to think that he'd done enough, and off he went with his girlfriend. And yeah, I did some basic first aid on the man's wife, whose ankle was broken. But as I say, that was because she tripped over her feet on the curb. And police arrived, and by that time everything had sort of calmed down a bit, apart from the older man who was dripping blood everywhere, and the woman who's laying in the road under an aluminium foil blanket that I managed to scrounge from somewhere. And yeah, naturally enough, the police said, "Cor blimey, governor, what's going on here?" or words to that effect. And I told the story, and I said, incidentally, the guy that clumped him is Mr. So-and-so. He lives at, you know this? I said, yes, I do, because I know the man. And police rushed off and arrested him and his girlfriend, and said there wasn't sufficient evidence to prove that the older man had been doing the unspeakable acts that all of the witnesses said he had been doing. So he was never arrested, he was never prosecuted, he was never found guilty of the unspeakable acts that all of the witnesses said he had been doing. Anyway, when you added everything together, the whole incident was a complete muck-up. The people who should have dealt with what they should have dealt with didn't. The people that should have been there weren't. The people that shouldn't have been there were. And well, after all muck-ups, those in authority decide they've got to write the story in a way that makes everyone look good. And they did. And when you read the way that the reports read, this guy here thoroughly deserved that. But you know what? I really don't think that's the case. So I'm going to stick this on the wall, and yep, after someone finds my deceased corpse and someone else comes to clear all of my clutter away, and they say, goodness, this man was a hero, you lot can say, no, he weren't. He was just the guy that they said was a hero.